We're counting down the 10 easiest sailboats to resell in a recession. From boats with legendary reputations to models prized for simple, low-risk ownership, these picks protect your wallet when almost everything else can't. Each one landed here by staying liquid, thanks to proven demand, reliable upkeep, and buyer trust, even as the economy tanks. Which design offers the safest financial exit? Let's start at number 10. Cape Dory. 30 owners rarely wait long for a buyer, even when the economy is rough. Liquid ownership like that is what sets this boat apart. With about 350 hulls built, this boat has always attracted a steady stream of value-focused sailors who want a classic look without the headaches. Value matters here. Its systems are famously simple, just a basic diesel engine, no complicated electronics, and robust construction that reassures cautious buyers. Owner forums and regional classifieds show a pattern. Cape Dory 30s, listed in good condition at realistic prices, close within 3 months on average. In 2025, the median days on market sites at 91, and cash buyers still make up 2/3 of sales. The boat's ageless lines and reputation for reliability mean it rarely becomes a dock queen like more complex models. Sellers report that even during downturns, interest stays steady, especially from retirees and downsizers looking for a safe, low-fear investment. For anyone who wants a boat that will not trap their money, the Cape Dory 30 sets the benchmark for conservative, liquid ownership. Fewer than 800 Contessa 32s have ever touched water, yet their reputation stretches across oceans. This is the boat that came through the 1979 Fastnet disaster when others failed. That history created a storm-proof legend that still drives buyers to pay premiums decades later. Brokers tell stories of listings that draw multiple offers in a single week, especially if the boat has a documented offshore history or an original builder's plate. For many, the Contessa is more than fiberglass and teak. It is a ticket to confidence when the weather turns ugly. That mythic trust translates directly into resale power. Even in a slow market, a well-kept Contessa 32 will attract solo sailors and blue water dreamers who know the story and want to write their own. In 2025, the median days on market sites at 90, with most buyers paying cash. Scarcity fuels demand. There are not enough good examples to go around, and each sale feels like a rare opportunity. The Contessa's pedigree does not just hold value, it commands value. Hunter. 33 and 34 models have always found a home with buyers who want space and comfort without stretching their budget. With over 1,000 hulls built for each, these boats anchor the mainstream of the used market, especially when times get tough. Families and first-time cruisers are drawn to the wide cabins, open saloon, and generous headroom, which make a Hunter feel like a much bigger boat than its length suggests. In a recession, that interior volume becomes a powerful selling point. Buyers compare Hunters to older, more cramped classics and see immediate value, room for kids, guests, or just stretching out after a long day. Insurance is usually straightforward, with premiums in the $300 to $600 range and no special hoops for most owners. Maintenance stays manageable, and upgrades can be done over time rather than all at once. In 2025, the median days on market for a Hunter 33 or 34 sits at 86, with listings in Tampa and the Gulf Coast often drawing multiple inquiries within the first week. Price-sensitive shoppers know exactly what they are getting: a real cruising boat that will not break the bank or trap them at the dock. Tartan 34C owners know their boat is more than a hull and a mast. It's a handshake across generations of East Coast sailors. With around 605 hulls built, the Tartan 34C is not mass market, but it has never been hard to sell in the right circles. The model's full keel look and classic lines draw a steady stream of nostalgia buyers, many in their 60s and 70s who remember the heyday of club racing and Chesapeake summers. What sets the Tartan apart is the invisible network, owner associations, regional regattas, and club newsletters where word of a new listing spreads fast. Brokers in Annapolis and Lake Erie report that most Tartan 34C sales happen through referrals or club connections, sometimes before the listing even goes public. In 2025, the median days on market is 83, a number driven by this loyal tribe of buyers who are not just shopping for a boat, but for a piece of their own story. Maintenance is straightforward and affordable, so sellers rarely face drawn-out negotiations over systems or survey findings. For those looking to sell quickly, the Tartan's community-driven demand is a kind of insurance, one that turns regional loyalty into real liquidity even in a down market. Beneteau First 35 and 38 models have earned a spot among the easiest boats to resell, especially when the economy turns south. These boats attract a steady stream of performance-minded buyers who want more than just a floating cottage. With production numbers high and a reputation for blending speed with comfort, the First series stands out in the used market for one reason: fun always sells. Weekend racers, club sailors, and even charter companies keep the demand alive. In 2025, the median days on market for a Beneteau First 35 or 38 is just 71, one of the shortest in the segment. Brokers in Annapolis and Miami report that well-priced listings often draw multiple inquiries within the first week, sometimes from charter operators looking to refresh their fleet. Interiors on these boats age gracefully, and maintenance costs stay reasonable compared to more exotic races. Buyers know they are getting a boat that can win a Wednesday night race or cruise the coast with friends. The invisible demand comes not just from private owners, but from sailing schools and charter outfits that need reliable, fast boats that appeal to a broad range of sailors. Sellers rarely have to wait long, especially when the boat is clean, surveyed, and priced to move. In a world where joy and adrenaline never go out of style, the Beneteau First 35 and 38 keep buyers coming back, no matter what the economy is doing. Albin Vega 27 owners tap into a different current, one driven by global minimalism and the promise of honest ocean capability on a shoestring. With around 3,450 hulls built, the Vega's reputation as the cheapest true blue water boat is not just internet folklore. Listings in 2025 show a median days on market of 93, longer than the mass market cruisers, but still steady for a boat in this price bracket. The buyer pool is diverse, but united by a single goal: crossing oceans without crossing financial red lines. Young solo sailors and first-time passage makers hunt these boats in international classifieds, often paying cash and wiring deposits from thousands of miles away. The Vega's simple diesel, Spartan systems, and forgiving hull make it a magnet for do-it-yourself refitters. These sailors would rather spend money on bottom paint than on bow thrusters. Many buyers find their Vegas through owner forums or Facebook groups, where stories of Atlantic crossings and frugal refits circulate like currency. In a recession, the Vega's appeal grows sharper. It is a boat that will not drown you in debt and will not trap you at the dock when life demands a change. For sellers, that means liquidity, maybe not overnight, but always reliable, especially when the listing is honest and the boat is ready to go. The Albin Vega 27 proves that even in hard times, there is a market for simplicity and real adventure. Westsail 32 sellers know they are not just offering a boat, they are passing along a legend. With about 830 hulls built, the Westsail 32 carries a reputation fueled by romance as much as by seaworthiness. These boats are not fast, and they demand regular topside attention, but for the right buyer, none of that matters. What sets the Westsail apart is the story it tells: tales of circumnavigations, handwritten logbooks, and weathered brass plaques from far-off anchorages. Listings with a well-documented voyage or a 30-year logbook can draw buyers from across the country, even if the boat needs work. In 2025, the median days on market sites at 101, longer than mass market cruises, but the fastest sales are driven by emotion, not spreadsheets. Collectors and dreamers will pay a premium for boats with provenance, sometimes ignoring the maintenance backlog just to own a piece of the myth. Owner groups and online forums keep the cult alive, trading stories and leads on rare finds. For sellers, a Westsail 32 is a wild card, volatile in price, but capable of a lightning-fast sale when the right buyer comes along. In a down market, it is the romance and ruggedness, not just the specs, that trigger a quick transfer of ownership. Island Packet 31 and 32 models have carved out a niche that few other sailboats can touch: comfort-driven liquidity, especially in retiree hotspots. With just under 1,000 hulls built between the two models, these boats are a familiar sight in marinas from Tampa to Annapolis and along the Texas coast. The secret is not just their reputation for reliability, it is the way they cater to buyers whose priorities have shifted: health, comfort, and the freedom to downsize without stress. Broker records and owner anecdotes tell the same story. When a life event or a doctor's advice means it is time to let go, Island Packets do not linger on the market. In 2025, median days on market was 88, with nearly 60% of buyers using financing, a sign that even in tighter credit environments, demand stays strong. The interiors are what draw people in. Wide berths, bright saloons, and gentle steps below. For many older buyers, these are not luxuries, they are essentials. A couple aged 72 in Annapolis listed their Island Packet 32 after a health scare and had a qualified buyer within weeks, no haggling, no drama. Listings in Tampa and along the Texas coast show the same pattern. Boats sell quickly, often to buyers who have been waiting for one to appear in their region. Maintenance is not the cheapest in this class, but the systems are designed for ease of use and long-term reliability. That peace of mind is what sells the boat, not just the specs. For anyone facing the realities of aging or changing plans, the Island Packet 31 and 32 offer a smooth exit, protecting both your comfort and your wallet. A Pacific Seacraft 34 listing draws a different kind of attention. Buyers who are willing to cross oceans, sometimes literally, to secure a boat with its pedigree. With fewer than 1,000 hulls produced and a reputation built on safety above all else, the Pacific Seacraft 34 sits near the top of any serious blue water shortlist. In 2025, the median days on market is 89, a number that reflects both buyer selectivity and the boat's near legendary trust factor. Sellers routinely field inquiries from Europe, Australia, and beyond. One Tampa owner, facing a health-driven sale in the middle of a market slowdown, received a full price offer from a British buyer who arranged for a remote survey and roll-on shipping after reviewing a meticulous maintenance record. These buyers are not deterred by distance or logistics. They are looking for a boat that has already proven itself across thousands of miles, and they know the Pacific Seacraft name means fewer surprises down the line. Most owners keep their boats in top shape, documenting upgrades and annual surveys with the kind of detail that reassures even the most cautious buyer. That level of care is not just for pride, it is what keeps the buyer pool international, even when local demand softens. Brokers report that listings with full maintenance histories and recent rigging inspections attract the fastest offers, often from buyers who have been waiting for months for the right hull to appear. Financing is split almost evenly between cash and financed purchases, but international buyers lean heavily on cash to avoid cross-border loan friction. For anyone selling a Pacific Seacraft 34, the process is more like a private sale of a rare asset than a typical used boat listing. The blue water reputation, combined with a history of careful ownership, creates a safety net for sellers. Even in a recession, the right buyer is always out there, sometimes on the other side of the world, but always ready to move when a clean, well-kept example appears. The Catalina 30 stands in a league of its own when it comes to resale liquidity. With more than 6,000 hulls produced since 1974, this boat has become the backbone of American marinas. And that sheer volume is what makes it so easy to sell, even in the toughest markets. Every sailing hub has a pool of buyers waiting for their chance, whether it is a first-time cruiser, a retiree downsizing from something larger, or a family looking for an affordable way onto the water. Listings on the Catalina 30 Owners Association forum and Facebook groups rarely last long. In Annapolis and Tampa, forum analytics show a persistent backlog of want-to-buy posts, sometimes outnumbering available listings 2 to 1. Sellers routinely report offers within days, sometimes before photos are even uploaded. In 2025, the median days on market for a Catalina 30 sits at 81, but that number barely tells the story. Well-priced boats in hot markets often sell in under a week, especially when posted directly to owner groups or regional classifieds. Even tired examples with dated interiors attract buyers because everyone knows what they are getting: a boat with simple systems, cheap parts, and a reputation for forgiving handling. Maintenance costs are low, and every marina mechanic has seen dozens of these boats over the years, so there is no guesswork or fear for a new owner. That familiarity is powerful. Buyers are not just purchasing a boat, they are joining a tribe. The owner community is massive and active, with forums, meetups, and a deep archive of do-it-yourself guides and troubleshooting threads. For sellers, this is the ultimate liquidity insurance. Anecdotes from recent downturns back up the data. In 2024, a 68-year-old sailor in San Diego listed his Catalina 30 on the owner forum, bracing for months of slip fees. The boat sold in 48 hours, with the buyer wiring a deposit before even stepping aboard. Stories like this play out again and again across the country. Brokers call it the easy button of boat sales. When every other boat seems to sit, the Catalina 30 keeps moving. Its combination of mass production, low buyer fear, and an ever-renewing pool of eager shoppers makes it the closest thing to cash you will find in the used sailboat world. For anyone worried about getting stuck or losing money in a downturn, the Catalina 30 is the gold standard. Liquidity is not just a feature, it is the reason this boat tops the list. Across all 10 sailboats, one truth stands out. Real resale value comes from trust, built through simplicity, reputation, and a loyal owner base. In tough economies, these boats are not just assets, they are lifelines, letting you adapt without financial pain. In sailing, liquidity is freedom. Which of these would you trust with your next adventure? Let me know below.